Hi, it's Martina, and welcome to episode number 7 of What is Life? So, I almost didn't post this episode, because as I was editing it and I listened back to it, I thought, like, this is just random fucking yapping. It's so messy. We even disagree a lot. We go on tangents, and Tomash literally says, like, I don't think this episode has a point at the end. But then I was like, what the hell? Whatever. You know what? Like, this is us. This is real. This is raw. It's honest. And, like, honestly, it proves the very point of this podcast, right? This is what life really is. And it's messy, yeah. And it's chaotic and it's ADHD and it doesn't go as I plan. And in the end, it doesn't even matter. Thanks, Chester. But here's what did happen in this episode. As I listened back to our last argument, and I realized, in the 6th episode, I was reacting to stories in my mind and not what was actually said. And that kicked off this whole conversation you're gonna listen to about why I used to think I was a bad person for being emotional. Then we discussed how acceptance actually changes everything in the relationships and your life. And also why I bought a stuffed puppy dog to represent my ego. And, this is not 5 steps to fix your life. No. This, what you're gonna listen to, is seriously just life itself. And if you have ever felt like you're too much, too emotional, or you're just fundamentally like broken and fucked and nothing makes sense, then this one is for you. But if you are looking for some structured, self-help, coaching, mindset fucking thing, this one, I'm sorry, but it's not for you. So you might as well just, wait for the next one. But I'm so happy you're here, and let's get to it.
So hello.
Hi. Hi. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world listening. We're back.
I'll wait until you make your 15-minute intro.
We're back with another episode of What is Life? Baby, it's living. It's living. Here and now. Remember?
No.
Oh my god, you never...
What do I remember? You always make
created this
different
song.
song every time we record.
I created this song in the last episode. I created it on the way to
Then
Dana.
how am I supposed to know that it sticks? You are changing things every 3 hours, baby.
Yeah, that's true. Well, shall we continue? Last episode was really fun. Also, last 2, actually. We fought, or we had argument in the middle of it. And it gave me so much, honestly, during recording and also during the editing, because I get to, for the first time, listen to the actual conversation we had, not the one which is in my head.
Okay.
In the middle of the argument, which I react to.
Actually, there was one thing that I told you to listen.
And you were right.
I was?
Yes! I don't remember it, but you were right. And I didn't come back from the coffee shop telling you were right, but I told you that it was just so shocking to listen to the truth, not the story in my head. Because that's, mostly what we as humans react to, is the things that, not that they are said, but how we transform or translate them through our filters into our head, and then we react to it. But 100 people could hear the thing you said with completely different understanding based on their own wounds. And I usually hear most of the things that you tell me that trigger me in a way that, so what else am I doing wrong? you know?
Yeah.
And oh my god, okay, you don't have to put me down or something like that. So every other person would like hear it in a different way. Somebody would be like, why are you disrespectful, or like something like that. And it was just so interesting because when I wasn't fired up and I was at the coffee shop just enjoying my editing time, I could hear it like completely objectively with love, and it was just absolutely natural, neutral. It was neutral from you, and I was really proud to hear you, to be so calm, because I never believe you're calm, because I'm not calm. Dude, it was really a huge experience for me. Plus the dream last 2 nights, I see you like completely just ball of
I
light.
think this is something that like it many times happens to me that I tell you something, and even though I use exact words where I say, baby, I love you, and I feel like that you hear, I hate you. And it's like impossible to talk to, because even like there is a proof, right, in the last episode.
Yeah.
Where I don't remember what it was. I think maybe we should have listened to it, because now I feel like that people will
anymore.
not understand like what the hell we are talking about.
Well, go listen, guys. It's really
Because
something.
I don't know what are we talking about. I just know that there was this situation where you were trying to tell me that
Basically,
I said something
we were
else.
podcasting about fighting, but we ended up fighting about podcasting because you had nothing. You had nothing to say when I expected you to complete my train of thoughts.
Okay.
And then I got angry because I told you, then what the fuck are you doing in this podcast if you're not talking? Because I was speaking about energy healing, and you said it's not a topic you want to open yet.
Yeah.
And then basically I got really angry that you are not complying to my terms and conditions, which you signed before you joined this podcast as a co-host. Yeah. No, wait, as a guest. So yeah, I just got basically self-angry. And you were just there. It was really funny to watch me running in circles.
But I was also triggered. It was also hard for me.
Yeah?
I didn't
Dude, you're a good actor.
I didn't hear myself. Well, I'm always trying to be loving even when it's uncomfortable for me. But and it's obviously easier for me than for you,
Why, obviously?
I don't know, like I'm when I'm angry or even when I'm sad, you know how I am. I usually just feel like being alone, or I go lay down and I sleep it off. Or something, but you yell, so that's the difference.
I don't yell. I change my tones into...
You yell less, that's true.
No, I don't yell anymore.
Only on every second Thursday.
I get really sassy, or I get like really like like an angry teenager. I want to tell you, I was shocked when I listened to it, because in my head, my body feels, in the moment, it feels so activated. It's like flames. It's like a war zone in a movie. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
When I listened to it, though, it was so peaceful conversation. Like you could feel from me, because I know myself a little bit, that I have some kind of in my body, like I could somehow remember how I felt, but from the if somebody who doesn't know us, or somebody who's not inside of my body or your body, if they're listening to it, they're like, oh, this is a fight? This is just a blowing conversation.
Really?
Yes.
Wow,
I was shocked.
Was really intense.
Wait, I want to ask the listeners, all the 75 people, like if you listened to the last episode, can you let us know if it felt like a fight or just like an exchange of opinions?
But I think it's very...
Because to me it felt so peaceful. I was shocked. But maybe that's just me, because I have different pain level.
On a person, because some people consider fight when you actually throw punches, and some people consider fight just when you so it's hard to say, but like
maybe we can listen to it together. Yeah. Even though like I have enough of it. Sometimes it's like really...
But I think we handled it really well. And I think it also happens when that strangers might be listening. I mean, at least for me, it helps me to be more relaxed in those moments.
You know
I
what?
guess.
You're right. Like
At least
it's.
after some time, because like I know that for you it takes much longer time to get back to love than for me. Like for
Mm-hmm,
me, when something happens and when I get triggered and when we start having some argument or
mm-hmm.
something, like in the beginning I'm just like you called it autopilot a couple minutes ago, so that's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's just like I just can't do anything. It's just happening. You
Mm-hmm.
just you want to stop it, but it's not possible. But then like very soon I realize, okay, I see what's happening, and I'm trying to just not to go with it, but just go back to
You?
love. Yes, for me,
Mm-hmm,
like for me,
mm-hmm.
I see that this is so much more easier, because like you, even if you think about some of our fights, okay, in the past, like when it happens, like in the beginning, it's maybe really a lot, but then I'm quiet and you just you just go, if you
Yeah.
remember, and I'm just waiting for you to
Or
just
you
stop,
leave to a
or I
room,
leave
close
because it's just too
yourself.
much, you know. But like for
Yeah.
me, like it doesn't take that long time
Mm.
to just be like have it over, you know, just like be done with the thing. But I know that for you it takes a little bit longer
For me, it's
to
different
calm
because it's
back.
in my body. I have to fight my physical sensations to,
Same.
like, it's almost like somebody is like, you jump a lot in my speech in the last
You're
times. I
welcome.
didn't finish 3 points, but it's okay because I had bad dream with you, and I love you more
uh,
because of that.
I'm
So
sorry.
it's okay. Yeah, for me, I have to fight my sensations. It's crazy, and that's basically what I spoke about in the beginning of the last episode. Is that it's almost like a muscle that you keep exercising until it knows exactly how to work out. It doesn't like break with the first heavy lifting. So that's my body, you know?
I
Like
have it the same.
it's like, yeah, it's only practice. And I'm so sad when I know that many relationships end because the couple is maybe not willing to go through this hard battlefield of balancing each other out and finding their own groove of quote unquote fighting process, because it is a process. You kind of learn, you get to know each other, you get to know each other's like weapons or things you say or the triggers and things, and honestly just waiting it out, going through it without like breaking up. That's what I think is the key, you know, because it will happen. And as you said, yes, last time in the last episode, it's going from resisting how things are between you two into accepting how they are. And that's the key to having those fights smoothing out and being less and less, you know, difficult and less hurtful. And then at the end of the day, you realize you're laughing within few seconds, like today or when was it, that was so like I was sad or something or angry, and you came to me and you said, can you give me rohlik? And then I just smiled and you said, that's it, you know.
Hmm.
Like it's just our little inside joke, like, can you give me
Smile.
a smile? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's actually, I think that's how it needs to be. Like, I think that everybody is somewhere else in their evolution, and therefore everybody can handle different amount of these sensations that you were just talking
Mm-hmm.
about. And like for somebody it takes seconds to go back to love, for somebody it takes minutes, and for somebody it takes hours, and for somebody it takes years to just forgive
Forgive.
something and forget something and get over something that somebody did to them. And you know, like somebody never gets through that, and some people are actually fighting and actually punching and, you know, having these kind of experiences. So
Yeah.
you know, so people need to break up as well. I understand that
Yeah.
it's not something you can really avoid, and it's not something, yes, it's a muscle, but it's not something you can learn in a minute or in
It's not
hours
for the weeks.
or in months. It's something you learn in lifetimes, literally.
Mm.
So I think it takes time to master that and to get there. But wherever whoever is, I think it's exactly where they need to be.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about the fact that I had no idea that there can be some kind of way how to approach conflict before in a relationship. I just thought that, you know, you shout, they shout, I shout, it's different opinions, and then you say bad things to each other. Somebody leaves, somebody cries, and it's all drama. I didn't know. I had no idea. It wasn't in my awareness that there's possibility of handling it differently. Because like they're fucking dick. Like what is there to? How can I be loving towards them? How can this be solved in a soft way? Like we are both very emotional, and then of course it's gonna go to shit, and it will, decide whether this relationship. I'm talking about love, romantic relationship fighting, okay, conflict, and so then one lashes out, and then the first one who says they're sorry will kind of solve it, and that's it. Like that's what I learned when I was a child, right? So this is where I got my template for conflict with another human being from. The question will come at the end of this, okay? Because I have a question to ask you. When I explain, like, it was usually that I did something wrong according to my mom. And until I admitted that I was wrong and I did it wrong, and I agreed with her, because I couldn't have my own opinion. It was just not possible with her. I couldn't explain myself, or kind of like, it wasn't equal to equal.
Like you were not allowed.
I was not allowed to have my truth. So until I was smart enough and understood that she is right, quote unquote, and that her truth is my truth as well, she didn't speak to me. Until I came crawling back and say, okay, Mom, I'm so sorry, you are right. Yeah, so this was always the pattern. So in the back of my head, I was always the one. Eventually I learned that, okay, no matter how big of a fight is, no matter who was right, who was wrong, even though now I know it doesn't exist, right? But no matter who started it, whose fault was it, whatever, I should be the one who says, I'm sorry, and therefore everything will be ironed out, cleaned up, clean slate, we can continue starting fresh, everything is good. And now I'm coming to our relationship. When this started, I would always come back. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I would do this whole cycle of me getting angry, growing all this way of, getting it out of me, then feeling bad about it, and then coming back and I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I wanted to ask you if you ever knew how to handle conflict, if you had some kind of idea about what we do now. Like, okay, he's triggered. Okay, I'm triggered. Okay, we should stay in love. Okay, there are some rules where I should take responsibility for my emotions. I should speak like I feel, not to project. And then these kind of things. Have you... I just look at you.
Please, just don't tell me that after 10 minutes of you speaking, you're going to ask me a question about everything you just said.
No, the question is,
okay.
Were you ever aware that...
No.
Yeah. Because it's crazy. Now we have much more awareness.
Can you finish the question?
Yeah. Have you ever had awareness that a conflict can be handled with love, acceptance, and maybe a few hiccups here and there, but ending in even deeper connection of those two human beings who are having that?
I was never thinking about these kind of things in my life.
Yeah, you didn't have to because you didn't have me.
For me, it's very hard for me to say, because...
Just say no.
No what? If I had awareness? Okay, no.
Yeah.
I did not, because I was not thinking about it. It was never I was never thinking about life and things like this. But also I need to say that I probably were in less conflicts in my entire life than you had on a bad week in yours.
Yeah.
So I think that's something important to mention. Like I don't know, like I didn't have many conflicts.
Yeah.
And I can't say I never had a conflict, but I don't even remember.
I had so many.
Like I had just very little. So,
but only with my mom.
But for me, to be honest, all the conflicts and all of those things started with you.
Yeah, I know.
And
once you met me
and
in
it
2020.
Was, and it was mostly because you did not like something. Like you had the resistance that we were talking about last time. So you had, like, I feel like that you had resistance about something. And yeah, of course I had my own things as well, but like, yeah.
I'm raising my hand, which is the correct way how to interrupt someone, just so you guys know.
Or maybe you can let me finish and then you can
It's
speak.
important because you said something about me, which I believe is not true. So I'm correcting it, which is what you normally do.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. You said that the fights were mostly because I didn't like something. I beg to differ. Very English. I beg to differ. For me, it was because I didn't know how to communicate my needs and wants and desires lovingly. So I was like, no, I don't like this. But it was actually me in a loving way would be, baby, actually, you know what? This doesn't feel really good. Would you please be able to do it differently? So for me, it was not resistance. It was inability to communicate my needs and wants and my opinions with love, because I would immediately see you as an enemy since you didn't do it the way that I would like.
Yeah, and that's the point. I didn't do something the way you liked. So you were resisting
that's control
something.
Freak.
So you were not liking what you saw.
But you know,
and that's how I
Do you think this podcast is about how shit bitch I am and how
No,
you
I
are
don't
just
feel
amazing
like-
and we're all just talking about my flaws? I don't
Well,
want-
you wanted to have
Well,
these
it's the-
conversations in the same way that we talk, and you know, we mostly talk about you because it's easier for both of us. So
Okay, you know
if you
what?
find something about me, I'm happy to try, but
But that's not even. I like to talk about me. I like to analyze me. I like to do these things because that's life, right? And this is why I created
and
this
this is your podcast.
Yeah,
and you speak about you, and
exactly.
I'm just here as a guest that been observing you for 6 years. So.
Yeah.
But for me, it like all of this doesn't mean that you are bitch or anything like that. I think that's important thing to put out.
Oh,
At some
very
point,
important
and
thing.
some like the only thing that I remember when like these things started to happen, like it was really hard for me, and I for a very long time felt like they are happening because of you. That's true.
Because I believed I'm a problem. I'm the biggest
That's true.
problem of the world.
Yeah, so I believe that, you know, if it was up to me, or if it would be, you know, yeah, if I could control it, like we wouldn't argue. Like that's what I thought, because I was never arguing basically with anybody, you know. Not like never and not like with anybody, but you know what I mean. With exceptions. So yeah, so I felt like that for a long time, and it was really hard. But then, I don't know, one day I just accepted that this is who you are, and that's, in the end of the day, the only thing that needs to be done.
I think it changed in the same time as I stopped believing that I am a bad person because of all these things. Because if you think about it, I'm now speaking maybe to someone who believes they're a bad person. Maybe you believe you're a bad person because you react with very strong emotions and you are too emotional in your eyes, and that it's bad because maybe your parents or your caregivers couldn't handle that well and they were punishing you for it, okay? So that's the maybe first person I'm talking to. Or maybe you are someone who believes that you were always a burden or a problem because of how you were. And this is exactly actually why I started this podcast alone. It was never meant to be our love story, but whatever, it's all life, yeah? But I wanted to just say, like, these were exact thoughts that I used to have since I met you, and you started to create these emotions. Again, you were not creating anything in me. You held the space, or you helped create circumstances in my life, which were happening by my choices as well. I take full responsibility for absolutely everything. It happened that I started to melt and my emotions started to come to the surface. And because of that, because I didn't know myself in that light, because even I was taking birth control for 14 years, that was really putting down the real emotions. That's what it does. It's a hormonal, pill that changes, that basically suppresses the way you feel, the way you act, the way you are. And that's important also to say. I think 4 months before I met you in 2020 in July, I stopped taking those. So my body was completely going through so many changes at once that, when it started all happening, and it was adding the anxiety and all of these things that we will speak about once we came to Bali. I would wake up with anxiety. I started to feel such a problem, like I'm the worst person in the world. I started to internalize guilt from this because I saw it creating problems. I was making you sad. And that's exactly what we as kids do when we have big emotions. It's so much energy, and we can't yet blame anyone. We don't understand the world that way. This is from psychology, from like science, how brain works when you're a child. You start to feel like you're the cause of everything. And because I had this kind of pattern my whole life with my mom, that I always had to be the one who said he was wrong, that I was wrong, okay, I'm sorry, you're right. And I had to just like shut up and follow her lead, right? It was a little bit of a controlling.
But you actually didn't have to.
I didn't have to, but that's what I
You
chose
didn't know
for
any
this
better.
life. It was exactly the biggest lesson that I chose for this life to learn and unlearn and integrate and then talk about in this beautiful podcast. So I thought that I am the worst person in the world. And I felt so much guilt for years. Until one day, I don't know, there was a lot of things in between we will talk about. But one day I realized, wait, how can I be bad when I really don't want this? It's not my choice. I just don't know what to do about it. If anything, I'm doing more than than is healthy to change it, to improve myself, to fix myself, which is what I thought would help. But actually, what would help? What helped was accepting myself and learning how to love me the way I am and be just like towards myself, like towards a baby who is scared, because all this lashing out, all this reactivity, all these emotions, that is just a reaction of a scared little fucking kid, whatever, inside of me. It doesn't matter. I don't want to go into these analytics, but I want to say, if you feel like you're a bad person because of your emotions, and Buchta is snoring again. If you feel like you're too emotional and it's horrible and you're burdened, and think again, like, would you see a little 5-year-old child who is crying, who is like, being angry? Would you see that kid as a bad kid? What would you do if you saw such a child? Like, you would just come and you would soothe that kid. You would hug it. You would be like, it's okay. You wouldn't see like this kind of horror child in the middle of a hallway with a knife and a fire in one hand and, and a gun and like, ah! No. You would still see the little innocent thing inside the core self of a child. You would just hug it. And I think that's what I started to do with myself, and everything changed. Coming back, why I'm talking about 360 of my labyrinth, coming back out in this labyrinth into your room of one to pick, is that you told me you didn't see me as bad or something like that. I don't remember. But the point was that I started this podcast because I wanted to speak about these exact things that I have been going through. This is just like a recent past, yeah? But I think many girls can resonate when they have this kind of emotional energy in them, and they can feel guilty or as bad person or feel guilt. But, your true core self inside doesn't depend on these emotions. That is not who you are. You are not your emotions. You are not your reactions. You are not your body. You are not your thoughts. You are not your mind. And the sooner you connect with your core self, the sooner you will not judge yourself based on how you feel or your output or what you do or how you behave. These things are ever changing and they pass. But who you are stays, and you are not a bad person, and you are not the most horrible, hurtful bitch in the world as you maybe see yourself as. You're not. you're actually really loving. You just don't know probably how to communicate all of that is in your head and heart and body. But it's possible. And thank you, baby, because you have been there for me, and you stayed and you waited and you stayed steady and you were there for me until I learned this. So thank you for listening to my monologue of labyrinth of emotions, because I think maybe one of the girls who listens will be happy that she heard it, or not. In that case, just, rewind it.
Why it has to be only girl?
I don't know. Can a boy be emotional?
Everybody is having emotions regardless of the gender.
Well, yeah, you're right.
But I think the most important thing of all is to say that there is no good or bad.
Yes.
I think that's the first thing. Like, whatever you see, whatever you feel, whatever you go through, it's just our ego, it's just our mind that is telling that this is good and this is wanted and this is bad and this is not wanted. But the things are the way they are, and
they're neutral.
However, you are behaving, it's not bad. There's not bad. Like, the only thing that you can do in a quote unquote wrong way is to behave in a way that you are hurting yourself, or you are hurting others, and in the end of the day you are hurting just yourself.
Yeah.
Because we are all one, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was hurting me so much when I was hurting you, and when I saw you sad, dude, it was like, fuck. But you know what's funny? Sometimes I remember once I told you, the moment you start shouting, I calm down.
Yes, and I think I know why is that.
Because that's what I was used to.
No.
So?
It's because when you do that from love, the person feels that love even when you shout. Let that sink in. I think it's too much. I think it's too advanced, but I think I understand this. And it happened maybe, I remember, once or twice, and it wasn't even my intention, but it just happened.
You know how I felt in those moments when I made you shout 3 times in 6 years? I felt like, oh, he also has emotions and he cares. We're good. I don't even care what you are shouting about. As long as you're shouting means we are on the same page, and therefore we're good. But because it was such a mismatch in our energies, I was always the one talking, and then you were just like zoning out, that used to be your mechanism or your processing of this thing. Me, I would be like anxious, and you would be avoidant, if you want to call it in this way, but I don't, because
I don't think I was avoidant.
You were not. No, it doesn't mean you're avoiding something. It means you shut down and you're just like, they just call it this way in like psychology, but let's not label shit, because we don't like labels. Yeah, so that's what I felt. Like, if you finally matched my energy with shouting, I felt safe. I was like, okay, that's good. I really felt relief. Well, look, this podcast is not any mindset coaches talking about relationship. It's not about psychologists or some educated human beings now giving you solutions. No, we're just literally normalizing shit from behind the closed doors that nobody talks about in relationships and inside of the head, the inner monologues, the emotional things that people normally go through, because that's the only thing we can talk about. Yeah, it's our experience, it's my experience, it's a way that we, it's an evolution, it's our hero's journey in our relationship. Like, we went through so much shit and came out on the other side, and we just are here maybe to give you hope, or to give you the light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe to give you this relief and normalize all this shit that nobody talks about. Because yeah, it's so easy to label all this what we talk about as toxic or red flags or oh my god, run for the hills. But you know what? I want to tell you, stay. I want to tell you, really, stay and learn to find peace in the discomfort, because that's the line where you grow. And yes, if it leads to a peaceful breakup where you need to put your foot down and put your boundary, and you start, your lesson from that relationship was to learn to appreciate yourself, yeah, and therefore leave that person. Okay, then. But if you're leaving just because it's a little slightly uncomfortable and like, it's too much or whatever, it's not Instagrammable couple goals relationship, then, maybe it's there to like serve your evolution, right? And that's what I believe, that the relationships and many relationships lately that are being created, they serve this evolution of those two people. I call it creationship. Is that you basically partner up with someone.
Everything serves your evolution.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what kind. It's just everything that you are coming to a contact with in your life, whether it's situation or it's a person. And obviously, if it's somebody who is like more in your life, right? Then obviously there's gonna be more of these things with that person or with that situation.
Yeah.
But yes, it's the only thing that is quote unquote wanted from you, or how you evolve, is to accept whatever is happening or however the people behave and anything they do. So if like you don't like that your partner, let's say, drinks every Friday and goes out with the friends, then it's not about them stopping doing that and being with you on Friday at home, but your like role or your like what like how you evolve is to accept that, okay, this is who they are, and it doesn't mean they are bad person or they are wrong
It's
or
the
they should do
meaning.
something else.
This is important.
Like not to judge it, just be okay with that and just allow them to do whatever they want to do, and you would be surprised that maybe they're gonna eventually even stop doing that.
Yes.
But first you need to accept that, and it's with anything or anybody. So I know that, for example, my lesson was to accept you even though you were yelling, even though you were whatever you were, however we're gonna call it. So that was my lesson, to just love you the way you are. And I think that's how you move on, that's how you evolve, that's how things change eventually.
And two things: not only by you accepting and loving me the way I was and I am, you showed me that it's possible for me to love and accept myself the way I am.
When you change yourself, like the people around you start changing as well.
Yes.
So yes, or they leave from your life because they no longer,
provide that lesson. You don't need them.
They can,
somehow.
Yeah.
And the second thing I wanted to say, it was beautiful example. The guy, like if your partner, drinks and goes out with friends on Friday and Saturday and leaves you at home. I think what is key in here, and this is maybe practical takeaway from this episode, is, by the way, we had no idea what we're going to talk about. We had no topics set up. We had nothing. And it's just happening. And it's kind of around fighting. Why are you giving me this face? Yeah, so I wanted to say about this guy who drinks on a Friday night, your partner. Maybe it's not about him doing that thing, but I think I would bet like $10 or like $100 on the fact that it's about what you make it mean about yourself. That is the thing that makes you feel probably not good about it. Because let's say, there's Andrea and Emily. Andrea thinks that, okay, he goes on Friday night to drink and he doesn't take me with him, so he doesn't care about me. Okay, she starts to make a meaning about herself. This is a thing that doesn't involve her. It has, you can translate it anyhow as you want. And I love you. And so maybe she's like, well, he doesn't care about me, he should call me, otherwise it's not gonna work. Maybe he's just like putting other things, we should, as a priority, and Friday nights should be together. We should all be with the friends. Maybe he thinks my friends are not good enough. All these stories she makes, her mind creates about this simple thing that is very neutral. The guy just wants to have fun, whatever. She feels bad about it, okay? And therefore, that's the problem for her. It creates a problem for her. And then Emily is like, I'm so glad he has his own friends. It's so healthy to have, your own like group of people you get to connect with. I'm so grateful he has friends, because I understand like it would be lonely if he was just with me. So it's great that he has this, and I can, go see my friends. I can go for, I don't know, run, or I can just chill the fuck out and do my nails with the silence in the house. And I'm so grateful. So what is the difference between Emily and Andrea? It's the way what they make the same thing mean. So if you make things mean something that is painful about yourself, maybe the way to accept this thing that you think is not good, so your partner going to get drunk, let's say on Friday night, without you, you just remove the meaning. You don't judge it. You don't make it mean anything. Therefore, it loses its power. Therefore, you go from resisting that meanings and the things that make you feel bad into acceptance. What if it doesn't mean that? What if it doesn't mean that he doesn't care about me? What if it doesn't mean that he prioritizes everyone else before me? And that, I think those are the steps to acceptance and to being, in a state of non-resistance, non-judgment, and non-attachment. It's complete neutral approach towards things that can make us feel bad. It's only in removing the story we have about the thing that brings us peace and acceptance. Thank you so much, baby. I saw this was hard for you to listen. I love you.
I don't know where did you get that, but I want to say that I think this whole thing that you were describing is very dangerous game, because I feel that this whole what you said, that you are thinking and the story and what you are creating, I think that this entire thing is your ego, and your ego is trying to feed you those stories. But those stories are not you. And you can never win over your ego. You cannot just argue with that. You cannot be like, no, they are okay, and it will say, no, they hate you. No, but they love me, it's okay. No, they don't, they go away without you. And the ego is very smart, and it will always find exactly the thing that hurts you, and that it will just drag you down always and every time. What is ego?
We never spoke about this.
Yeah, there's millions of things we never spoke about, and you mentioned in your speeches that is actually really hard for me, because I see 15 things that I would like to speak about, and I'm so overwhelmed where to start and where to go. But I'm gonna speak about this one now. So I think that first step for me in those situations would be to realize that they are not the quote unquote problem. They are not somebody who's hurting you, but you are hurting yourself. And because they have nothing to do with that. They go, they have fun, they come home, everything's okay, they love you, they're not moving out, there's no problem whatsoever. The only person who has problem is you, right? And why are you having the problem? Because in the end of the day, you also love them, you also next day you're gonna be with them, like whatever it is, it's just you being hurt, right? And why are you being hurt? Because you are listening to those stories of your ego. So I would say the step number one is not try to win over the ego, but just don't listen to it. Just don't engage with that at all. Like just whatever it says, just don't say anything. Just ignore it. Like if you look at any person, or like if they speak and you don't engage with them, you say nothing, they will stop eventually, right? So it's the same thing with the ego. Like once you start engaging with that, it will create the stories that are gonna be just out of this world, and it will know exactly what to say to hurt you the most, and to give you the best argument to see how they are fucking assholes, and you are a poor baby that is being home alone. So you just need to not to listen to that, not to engage with that, just let it completely go and it will shut up. Just live your life. Like they go out, okay, so I'm gonna watch TV, or I'm gonna go out with my friends, or I'm gonna just whatever there is, do your DIY, strikuj, how do you say that?
Knitting.
Knit.
Knit.
Just whatever, just live your life, So that's the first thing, right? To just
Exactly what I said. Remove the meaning and question the story.
Yeah, but you don't remove it. You just don't listen to it. Like, how do you remove it? Like, you just
You can be
ignore
like,
it.
okay,
It's
how
just
would I
like-
feel if this story that he doesn't give a fuck about me I wouldn't
But
believe
that
it.
already means that you are making that story alive.
No, you're killing
Because you
it.
are saying this story, but that story, you can just ignore it, the story, You can just
How do you ignore it? You see it being let go of, and it's gone. And that's the act. The action of letting go of the story is, it can be created. And you do it in a way that you're like, okay, how would I feel if this wasn't true? I wouldn't believe this. If this story was just a nonsense that my body, my ego created.
But
And
it
that's
is
when you
already.
That's when you connect to actually you, your awareness, not the ego or the body or the mind and all the story making machine that your human is.
Okay.
But you said that's the first point, to not engage with all these things that your body or your mind is feeding you, right?
Yeah.
Is there a second step for you? Do you have a second step?
I guess I lost my thing. Can we take a break?
We're back after the break where we needed to discuss some things, but we're back. So what's your second point you wanted to say?
Yeah, so the second point is to accept the person the way they are and allow them to do whatever they need to do.
Literally what we discussed during the break.
I don't understand, but I want to be on this topic, which is about these two people, where the person says, the person is triggered because their partner goes out on Friday, right? And I said that the first thing is to...
I'm giving you space, so I'm not looking at you so that I don't react.
Thank you.
Please speak about your opinion and your insight. When you're done, I will start talking.
I guess I lost it. I'm sorry.
I'm giving you space.
I lost it, baby. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
So what's the second point you wanted to make?
It's really hard for me at the moment, so I don't know.
You told me to give you space. I
Yes.
asked the question.
Thank you.
And I'm not saying anything anymore. Let's go again. So what's the second point?
The second point is to accept the other person the way they are, which means to allow them to do what they need to do and not to try to control them and not to ask them to be in a way that you want them to be, and just let them be however they are and love them unconditionally. Does it make sense?
To me, it does. But I think to 99.99% of people, it would be like, well, but then that's a reason why we're not a match and I don't want to be with them, because that's not how I want my husband to act like. I want them to be with me. I want something different than they are. I want them to change.
Yeah, but that's resistance. That's what we talked about in the last episode. You're resisting something that is, whether it's a person or it's a situation. So you either resist that there is a situation, which can be, let's say, you resist that there is a war in the world, and you just are like, no, I don't want this. Or you resist the person and you say, no, I don't want them to be like this. That's resistance. But your role is to accept. Like, that's life, that's evolution.
And then the person could be like, Yeah, well, that's cute, but then I can choose a different person who will not go out on Friday night.
You can, but you will go through exact same thing over and over forever. You will feel the same emotion. You will not run away from it, even if you move across the entire world.
How do you know this? What's funny?
Funny is to answer this question for me.
Which question?
This that you just asked.
How do you know?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't really know how to answer it.
Why do you say that? Why did you say that?
Because I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be able to answer the question, but not in a sentence or two. But I would say, look, I would say that if you really had recorded your entire life, you would find in it this, what I just said. But it's really hard to be aware of every second of your life and to really know and see what's happening. But basically, these are the things. This is the evolution. This is how we evolve. We evolve by accepting. We evolve by just, this. And those things, they disappear from your life. Because if you think about something that you needed to went through in the past, something that happened in your past, and something that you were resisting.
Can you be specific? Because even I'm getting lost in what you're saying.
Yeah, I can be specific. So let's say about you. Can you name a thing? Can you name it's your podcast, you're a host, so I'm gonna use you. So
I have
can you
many
name okay, so can you come up like the first thing that comes to your mind, okay?
Yes.
Something that you really didn't want it. Sometimes in the past, it can be any time in your 30-something years of your existence. So you had something that you really didn't want it, and then you were like, okay, what the hell? And now it's just part of your life, and you are completely okay with that, and it's just not bothering you anymore. Is there something like that?
I would say one thing, since it's about relationships.
Okay. Is that the first thing that came to your mind?
It was first, and then so many started to come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I got lost in a thought.
Okay.
But the first thing that came up was that I always...
Thank you.
We just received...
Now we're going to take a chance to mention our sponsor of this podcast. We would like to thank our sponsor, Magnetic Couples Bracelets.
Yes.
Because of Magnetic Couples Bracelets, this podcast is possible.
Yes.
So thank you very much. And we just received an order, and I want to especially thank to Heather from Langhorne, PA, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Is it PA? Because I don't want to mess up the...
What did she buy?
She bought magnetic leather bracelets.
I knew it!
In black and white color.
Oh, thank you, Heather.
So thank you very much.
We wish you and your partner beautiful surprise gift
Yes.
and connection beyond any type of conditional love, because, I got lost there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Magnetic Couples Bracelets, we just received order. That's why we remembered.
Yes.
So thank you, Heather.
And I'm sorry for interrupting you. I mean, it wasn't me who interrupted you.
It was Heather.
And her order.
Thanks, Heather.
No, thank you.
Jesus.
And now you can continue with your story. So what was the one thing that...
So with every boyfriend,
Okay.
all of them, all
Okay.
many, every time I would find something I didn't like about them,
Uh-huh.
I would be like, well, this needs to change or I will break up with them.
Okay.
So the kind of ultimatum started in my head.
Mhm.
But because I was always choosing unavailable men, which I would know that I can't be with them forever.
But this, what you just said, is the repeating thing that I said, that you can even move across the world and it will keep repeating and it will be there. Okay? So that's why you were, quote unquote, choosing these unavailable men, right? Because it was repeating, right? You said it happened with every single boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened first time, and your lesson, or was to accept that they are somehow, right? And you said no, and no, and no. And you did exactly what you said before, that, but I can choose and I can move on and I can go. So you were doing that. but the same thing was coming to you over and over and over, right? And it stopped
With you.
when you accepted the way I am, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
When
and
I
now,
stopped wanting to change you.
exactly.
When I was like,
and
oh,
now
what the hell?
And now you don't want to
This
change
is who
me,
I am
right?
with.
And now you don't want to change me, right? Now you're okay with
But
that.
now you are changing by yourself.
Exactly. So can you see? So this is the proof. So this is how I know.
I don't get the part which you were speaking about that I was choosing. What?
I don't know which part now you mean.
It's okay. The main thing is that you asked me to say,
Yeah.
what is one thing that kept repeating
Yes.
until I accepted it,
Yes.
and it resolved.
And your question before was, how do I know that it will stop when you accept it? And how do I know it will not stop if you don't accept it?
Yes.
And this is the proof. Like you literally had boyfriends all over the planet.
Yes.
Exactly.
Universe.
Right? So it doesn't matter how much you moved, you always had the same thing. There was a problem.
Yeah.
And you didn't accept that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it stopped when you did accept it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what's crazy? That actually me feeling like I need to improve and change every single guy I was with, I saw that they're not really good enough. Either they were not dressing well, or they were not having good haircut, or they were just not behaving well, or they were not cool enough. That's when I started to attract people who I really couldn't change and I couldn't be with because they were Muslim or something like that, that it would never work. So it started to even go to the really in a way where I had to be like, I accept it. Like, there's no way I can change everything. I cannot create this person in a way and the illusion I would like them to be. There's literally no way. And then you came along and I told you and then I just had to accept you because it was like, I tried so hard. It was killing me. It was really exhausting me. I was trying for you. Remember, I spent so much energy explaining to you and just basically from resistance, telling you this and this and this. Oh, Jesus. How much energy I could, I'm so tired these days. I think that energy went to you.
But also I want to say that this is really, again, part of the life and part of the evolution 100%. And people, and we all need to go through those things.
Yes,
and you cannot postpone it and you cannot speed it up. It just happens when it happens. And it you needed to go through all of those boyfriends and through all of those resistances so you can accept it. Those are not the things you can just be like, okay, I'm accepting everything suddenly.
No, it's a process.
It's a process. And if it's not happening, then it's not the time to accept it, even though you are trying and doing your best.
But trust.
But you also cannot force it.
But know that the evolution is happening whether you force it or not. So you might as well fucking relax. Because it's all happening in your favor. You live in a friendly, loving universe that wants the best for you. Because you are everything. So of course you wouldn't want to hurt you through all of this. It's all just a game designed to help you evolve. And these are all just entertainment options for you to evolve through. And what is life? Baby, it's living in the extremes and evolution. Oh yeah, it can change in every single episode. You were right.
It's not about being right.
But it certainly feels good.
It feels good to the ego, but we don't want to feed that, so...
But the ego is the little pepper.
It is.
I tell you guys something. It is the
best teacher. One of the best.
It is the best teacher, and they all say kill your ego and stuff. No, you want to love your ego.
It is dying actually.
It is
every day,
and you love it. You love it because it's here for you. It's your biggest teacher, and it's your best friend. And I bought a little puppy toy of a little golden retriever. Literally, it looks like our Buchta, our dog that is sleeping next to us. And I called him Peppo because my tennis coach, Jojo, he was very critical. And I think I kind of got that critical, always annoyed, doing everything wrong voice. I got it into my head. And so, again, part of the lesson, lifelong lesson that I was born to evolve through and integrate in his lifetime. And so I bought this little puppy dog, and I called him Jožo. I called him Pepo, which is in Czech language the same name, like Slovak Jožo. And every time my ego or my body starts to give me the thoughts that are not making my body again not feel good, I'm like, it's okay. And I just pet the little puppy, and I'm like, it's fine. You can bark as much as you want. I still love you, and you're not gonna really change anything. Might as well just chill. We're okay. Don't worry. All is good. Alles gut. All is well.
Yeah, because you understand it's not you. The
Yeah.
ego is not you,
And then
and
when
your
you make-
body is not you, and they are lying to you all the
Yeah.
time, and they are just, yeah. I mean, like many people say, listen to your body, and yeah, listen to it when you need to pee,
But the body can
or
lie.
when you need to eat,
Yeah.
But like even when you need to eat, I think it lies sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
When it doesn't want to feel emotions.
when it wants chocolate, or when it
When it wants to smoke.
But I think I would be really careful about this, because I think that it's actually opposite. I would say that don't listen to your body.
Yeah.
Just
evolution.
Just see.
You need to learn first how to listen to your body, because like you have to go through that belief system, that listening to your body, so that you can let it go, I think. No? Because how would you not listen to your body if you couldn't listen to it in the first place? Maybe it also has some kind of orchestrated order in which you have to go through it, like black magic, white magic, and then nothing. Okay, you don't want to talk this, but I'm talking to you like these are the terms we would use because we know them. It doesn't matter. Forget anyone's listening, whatever. Love you guys, thanks. But like you don't really have to think about what you're saying. It's just fucking podcast on public platform for the whole world. Just nothing, okay? Yeah, and I just want to say like this Peppo, I'm just learning to really separate myself, even though I'm both. I am the matter, my body, and I am the mind or the invisible thing. But like once I learn how to give compassion and love to this puppy that represents my body, then I can give that love and be just absolutely compassionate to this human body we were given. Because we are not it. Might as well fucking love it and be grateful. And guess what? Then it will be just happy, and it will not, but it will always be like a little child. But you will always be able to give it love that it needs. And then you guys can be friends. Like you, baby, and me. And even though we bark at each other sometimes, we still love each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And that's life. Every episode, guys, we have some kind of thing. It's really, really, really beautiful training ground for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there something more?
On the agenda, which we didn't have at all? No.
We did have it, but your first two sentences brought it somewhere else, and then we ended up here.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Never knowing what we speak about. So we spoke about the sponsor, www.magneticcouplesbracelets.com. You can rate this podcast on Apple Podcasts. That would really help us, I think. And you know what? Nothing. Just let us know what was your fucking light bulb moment, or like the aha moment, or like, yeah, did you listen even until now? Just let us know. We want to know. Okay? We enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being here and listening to this casual conversation between Martina and her husband, unofficial husband, Tomash, and our dog Buchta sleeping and snoring in the background, and the fridge that is extra loud today in our beautiful accommodation in Vietnam, Hoi An. And yeah, thank you, baby. I want to ask you, what are you living with? But that would be probably another 10 minutes. What are you living with?
It's so funny how we enjoy these questions. And for me, it's like really hard, because
it's a nice closure.
I have to find something that is so not in my consciousness.
But that's not how you do it. What are you
How you
living
do it?
with? You just connect to your body right now and kind of feel into like how you feel. For example, I'm living with, it's kind of like you just sense the overall mood. If you guys saw me right now, I'm just like covering everything in a ball.
Sense the overall mood for me has different answer as tell me what you are living with. Sense the overall mood is for me that my mood is good.
Okay, so what? Okay.
I understand what am I living with the question.
Okay.
So you can start.
I'm living with living life to the fullest, and in this 1 hour with you, feeling all range of emotions, and that's what I'm here for. So yeah, I'm living with being fully alive. You? And what came first to your mind? It's not a thinking question. It's more of a sensing, feeling question, actually, you know.
The only thing that I sense and feel right now is that my underarms, or how you call this?
Armpits?
Armpits are a little bit sweaty.
Good. That's all. It's enough.
That's
You're living with sweaty armpits. So? No, okay. You want to say something else?
I don't know. I feel like there was not really a point in this podcast.
And with that, beautiful listeners.
And therefore, I don't know what I'm living with because I feel like there was not some conclusion of something or like something that we would solved or finished or like that would be a topic that we talked about or like.
You know why? Because
something.
I tell you how I feel. Solving, finishing, and having a point is a logical thing a mind needs and requires.
I am logical person.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I accept that you are this way.
Yes.
However, it's my podcast, and basically, to a mind, it doesn't make sense because it's done from the heart and it's done from a different, source than a mind is.
It can make sense to mind as well. It can make sense to mind as well.
It can definitely make sense, and I think to someone who's not in it, it made sense in many points. Just not to us because we're in it. We're in this pool of thoughts and topics and things, and we are in it. It feels differently than from the outside looking in, It's like if you're drowning or you're on a wave, right, surfing, and then someone is filming you. It feels completely different, the experience. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, you look so funny right now. You look so funny. You want to say something else?
Yeah, I guess I'm living with some resistance.
Okay. There you go. That's okay.
It's really I think it will be there again because I don't think I handled it properly yet.
And yet still you want to record every day even though resistance is your main.
I mean, look, things will trigger you regardless of if you record something or if you just sit in your room or if you're gonna go out or if you are married or if you are single. It doesn't matter. It will happen. It happens to all of us. I don't want to record, so I go to resistance. Yeah. But I want to record because it feels good. But at the same time, it's really hard for me sometimes to talk to you or listen to you. So there is resistance, yeah.
Okay, thank you for answering my question. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful day. Subscribe, like, and comment. Your favorite phrase, baby. It's a fun thing to say when you're a vlogger.
For who?
For the vlogger.
But it was fun to say when it was 2003.
That's why it's fun, because I make you angry with it. That's why.
You don't make me angry with it.
Okay. Well, hope you got some point out of this. Hope you got some kind of something that makes sense. And something that brought something to your life. I'm speaking to you who's listening. I
Or
really
maybe
do.
you just like to listen to it
Sometimes it's just
of
how it makes you
radio.
feel. Yeah, sometimes some podcasts I listen to, maybe I didn't get some practical shit out of it and some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is how you go boating. But I just felt good listening to it.
But maybe just the fact that we speak about how fucking uncomfortable we feel all the time
Yeah.
is something that will, bring peace to somebody
That's the
who
point.
is also feeling the same and thinks that everybody is just so fucking happy on Instagram, posting how they are in the resorts in the Caribbean
with
the
candlelit dinner, speaking about how beautiful life is.
Yeah, but that's just one side, and I think that side's been all over the internet since it exists. And then maybe people can feel like shit because they
compare themselves to highlights.
Yeah. So we speak about the things that are just happening to everybody as well. Probably even more than those happy moments. But we just wanna, I think, for me, the message or the whatever for everybody would be that it's okay. All those emotions that you feel, or all those moments when you feel like shit and you resist them and you feel like you don't want that and you want something else and you want things to go this way, not this way, and you just feel like you just want to fucking throw something out of window or somebody or yourself, just it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all part of life, and
it
everybody
doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and everybody is experiencing exactly the same things as you. It's not just you, and everybody is living Instagram life.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
So it's fine.
That's exactly why I started
and you don't
this
have
podcast.
to be ashamed of that. You don't have to hide it, and you don't have to act like it doesn't exist or that it's not part of life, because it is.
It is part of life.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And there's nothing bad in it.
I tried so hard and got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. And I don't know what's next.
It doesn't matter, but we sending shoutouts to Chester, is his name?
Yeah, Chester.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.